Okay, so, let's do the Dinoforce. Not the baby Dinoforce, we don't talk about that, okay? So, first off we have Goryu. By the way, excuse my pronunciation. You know. So, Goryu is a Decepticon, and also Maya Yu is a Pretender, since they are made by the one, the only Quintus. So this is the Quintus Guard segment, but technically also the Onyx Guard, but that'll probably be for later. So Goryu was from, of course... Okay, you know what, take your guess. You guessed yet? No? Well, you're stupid. You understand that the one and only Dinoforce is from the planet Char, which, well, is barren as hell. 'Cause it's barren as hell. And it's kind of... basically think of Cybertron, but a dead god. Yes, and my Char is a planet former, okay? Let me have this. But, hailing from Char, the Dinoforce has the combined brain power of probably a very dull mechanimal. Frankly. Like, just saying, Minitrons probably have a higher IQ than the Dinoforce. And you're probably like, oh, well then they're probably the least useful thing to ever exist. You're wrong, and you're stupid, just like the Dinoforce. Anyway. Basically, Goryu is the ruthless champion. They don't have leaders, they have champions. Of the Dinoforce. He is possibly the oldest. I say possibly since none of them have confirmed ages. It's not my bad writing. It's just... they're from the age of Quintus. Like, what do you want me to say? But the organic mass that builds them up, well, since they are pretenders, isn't actually necessarily organic. It's more just like sludge. It's basically just molten sludge that hardened into a proper material. So, yeah, and it just so happens that it looks like flesh or scales. Goryu has possibly the most dense layer, and also a thing about the Dinoforce is they can ride atop their alt modes, since they can transform into their alt modes / beast modes, and then they can transform into alt mode, which is their more Cybertronian Jurassic form. Thus for, being cool. So, yeah, if you ever see some tall, chunky guys riding on a bunch of heavily armored dinosaurs, I suggest you crap your pants while you still can. And, well, Goryu also doesn't really use long-ranged weapons unless it's his alt pretender, as I call them. Their alt pretenders... Electron breath. And you're probably like, what's electron? It's electrized. It's electric energon. Dum-dum. 'Cause, yeah. And also, a reason why I'm not calling them Mega or Ultra Pretenders is because it kind of just doesn't really feel correct. If that makes sense. Like, they're so different that it just kind of feels a bit weird, you know what I'm saying? But then we move on from, well, we're still on Goryu, since he, for some reason, has a lot of lore. He also, again, only uses his beast's electron fire, but also the beasts usually work in a kind of cohesive way, and they usually treat their alt pretenders like some kind of, or some type of, well, pet when they're not actively in control of them spiritually. I just farted on God, I just farted. Oh, wait, this is recording. Whoops. So now we go to Doryu. And Doryu is a guy. Everybody likes him. And he's a hard worker. He also likes putting himself on the front line a little too much. And, you know, he's basically the only guy who really keeps a sense of camaraderie. He's just the Pookie Bear of the team. I don't know what to say. Also, fun fact, all of the Dinoforce have 4 fingers. That's right, 4 finger. I mean, they can still technically give you the middle finger, but, you know. Just saying. It'd probably be the probable middle finger. Would it be their index finger, or would it be their middle finger? Oh, wait, it would be their middle finger. Or would that technically be their ring finger? Would they just have the middle finger removed, or would they have the ring finger removed, or would they have the pinky removed? Frankly, the pinky is probably one of the weakest fingers, so I think they would have their pinkies removed. It also just makes anatomical sense, but anyway. And he has a Stegosaurus shell, just like how Goryu has a Tyrannosaurus Rex shell. Yes, I said Tyrannosaurus Rex instead of T-Rex shell. Deal with it. He's also probably the smartest. And honestly, he's just kind of a goof. He can also project 3-dimensional images made up of 4-gram rays to serve as decoys and lures, which can actually explode with the force of a stereotypical Hollywood grenade, so that's a lot of power. And when he merges with his Stegosaurus shell, which is quite durable, then he kind of just goes all insane because he's cool. And then he also has turrets mounted to his Stegosaurus shells on the dead front, and you're probably like, oh, that's not very versatile. Well, actually, no. It's actually insanely versatile. And, well, because they kind of have this little, like, base that's kind of spherical, and then it just noodles around, I guess, as a giant gun that shoots missiles. Then we have Geru. They all have very similar names, okay, so Geru. But he really likes charging in with Berserker strength. He also spells Berserker with a Z. A lot of grammatical errors when it comes to everybody except Doryu. And sometimes Yukaru, or how do you pronounce their name exactly? Yokaryu? So, yeah. But, yeah, let me go back to Garyu. Garyu also has a lot of counterattack measures, since he knows that somebody, Goryu, is going to try and go in all insane. so he, thus for, picked the Ankylosaurus shell, which thus far makes him heavily armored and also heavily butt-kicking. And he's so dedicated to the defense part of the play that he just holds off on powerful attacks until just the right moment, which usually causes him to blow up half the battlefield, so friendly fire, but also effective fire, I guess. I don't know. That's just how it is, I guess. He also transforms when he's not in his shell. He actually transforms into some kind of hyena. I also haven't really done any of their pretender modes, but literally that is about the closest thing. I mean, like, Goryu's non-pretender mode or non-shell mode is very reminiscent of, I guess you could say it's very reminiscent of a Alicon when he's not in his pretender shell, and I guess when Daryu isn't in his shell, then I guess he could be, I guess you can say when Doryu isn't in his pretender's shell and is instead in alt mode, I guess you could say that, I don't know, he just is like a snake. I don't know, he looks snake-like. I mean, if snakes had giant, chubby bipedal bodies attached to them, somehow. But anyway, back to Geiru. He also has a special move, Gei Anklodash, which can be performed when merged with his semi-autonomous Ankylosaurus shell. And basically what happens is he kind of explodes into semi-autonomous, heavily armored, spike-sided bullets on legs, because he just kind of just shoots them out constantly. So, yeah, you would think that would be Doryu's thing with him being a Stegosaurus, but no. Gotta really, catch him off guard, which is kind of his thing, except he's not the best at catching people off guard at all, since he literally yells out Gei Anklodash. So, yeah. Then we go on to possibly my favorite, at least design-wise, Kakaryu. But, also, let me get this out of the way first. Their non-pretender shell alt mode kind of looks like a lion, but a bipedal. Basically, think of if a Sharkdicon was lion-themed. That's basically